Sometimes, when focusing on a character, you notice how nice and polite they are. You never question their motives, you just believe that they care. However, not everything is what it seems. Some people hide their true intentions, and let you believe a certain truth, even though the truth might not be the truth. Blindly believing in someone can sometimes put you in horrible situations. Today's video is a good example of this. Today, I will tell you about the story of Ghost, from Ginger Snaps. The first time we see Ghost, she comes across as a shy, quiet and attentive girl. We are told that she lives at the hospital, because her grandmother was badly burned in a fire. Nothing is known about Ghost's parents, but because it was stated that Ghost had no one to look after her, they are presumed to be deaf. Most of the times we see Ghost, we see that she is worried about her grandmother, while at the same time reading her grandmother a comic book. At the hospital we also see that Ghost has no friends, she does not get along with the other girls. She seems to be a misfit. The girls bully her, call her names, and throw stuff at her. Ghost in return, does not stand up for herself. It makes her irritated, but she just accepts it. Soon another girl, Bridget, arrives at the hospital. When this happens, Ghost develops an interest in Bridget. She soon finds out that Bridget is also a misfit, and not only that, but that Bridget is also a werewolf, and this piques her interest in Bridget even more. At some point, while Ghost is being bullied, she is rescued by Bridget, who threatens the bully to stop. This makes Ghost's obsession with Bridget rise even more. Ghost then decides to help Bridget however she can. Soon Ghost finds out that Bridget is in dire need of a medicine, so she manages to steal the medicine and she gives it to Bridget. Grateful for this, Bridget in return starts trusting and protecting Ghost. They slowly develop a sister-like bond. Ghost never had a sister, but always wanted one, and Bridget lost her sister. Soon the hospital is under attack. Another werewolf is hunting Bridget. While Bridget is trying to escape, she comes across Ghost, and they decide to escape together. During their escape, we find out that Ghost is not fazed by the deaths of the people around her, which is very strange. When she finds the dead body of one of the girls that bullied her, she just comes across as unhinged and satisfied, believing that the girl got what she deserved. It is also remarkable to note that Ghost is capable of driving cars and using guns, especially for such a young girl. Eventually, Ghost and Bridget arrive at Ghost's grandmother's house. Here, their friendship grows even stronger, and it really seems like Ghost regards Bridget like her own sister, and vice versa. Because Bridget is again in dire need of the medicine, they call a guy named Tyler, who works at the hospital. He brings the medicine and gives it to Bridget. Later, Bridget and Tyler start making out, but Bridget then abruptly stops it and makes Tyler leave the room. Tyler then goes to talk to Ghost. The next time we see Ghost, she has brushes all over her body. It seems like someone has forced himself on her. Ghost tells Bridget that Tyler forced himself on her, and Bridget in return locks Tyler outside, where he is eaten by the werewolf, who just arrived. The werewolf then breaks into the house. It attacks Bridget, but Bridget manages to defeat it, but not without being severely wounded herself. Bridget is then just about to turn into a werewolf herself. With her last strength, she asks Ghost to kill her, but Ghost locks her up in the basement instead. All this time Ghost's true goal was having her own pet werewolf, and now, with Bridget who turned into a full werewolf in her basement, she has achieved her goal. While watching the movie, I never suspected a thing. I truly believed that Ghost was just a nice girl, who just wanted to help. But I was wrong. Now we know her story, the question remains: what type of person is Ghost? Ghost is a very sharp and highly intelligent person. She puts on the facade of a helpless but caring little girl, but she is far from these things. She is a monster. She has an obsession with dark fantasy comic books, and these books deeply influence her behavior and ideas. In one of her comics there is a superwoman who has control over a group of bloodlusted wolves. Ghost's fascination with this comic makes her want to have her own pet werewolf, and she chooses Bridget as the perfect victim for her idea. Ghost does not care about anyone but herself. No matter how close you think you are with her, it is all fake from her point. Ghost purposely burned her own grandmother, and the unknown whereabouts of her parents could easily mean that they were also killed by Ghost. Ghost first befriended Bridget using her warm and caring persona, only to get close to Bridget and get her in a vulnerable state, only to shockingly lock her up in her basement and treat her as her own pet. Ghost is a cold and ruthless monster who is capable of killing anyone who comes in between her and her goal. If necessary, she will even use underhanded tactics, like falsely accusing Tyler of raping her, to get him killed. Ghost will do anything to get what she wants. Because of the comics she reads, she has trouble separating reality from fantasy, thus ending up in her being a total psychopath that lives in her own fantasy world. Anyone that tries to ruin the world she has created for herself will be dealt with in the most brutal ways. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you would like to see more.